Hi YouTube. So for tonight, we are working on the Pontiac Firebird, and a couple weeks ago I discovered I was putting in the, I don't know what you call them, but the little things that hold the T-tops, putting them back here, and I noticed the smell of gas. Pulled up the carpet and found this big old hole. My previous owner had changed the fuel pump that did it this way, which I've seen portal holes that looked good. This one looks like a beaver chewed it up. So I've ordered a new tank. I've already got the lines disconnected from the fuel pump here, and I'm gonna go ahead and start taking everything off the bottom, dropping the axle and the exhaust, and dropping the tank. Putting the new one in as soon as it comes in. Now, I've gone ahead and taken off the wheels and tires, not a big deal. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of videos out there. And I've already removed the bolts out of the sway bar up here on the frame. Now, in order to get this axle down, you've got a bolt here and here, and then that long bar will also disconnect with one bolt on the other side. This one here, the upper one, has 3 on the other side. We're also going to be dropping the shock from down here, removing the springs. Once I get all of this disconnected and dropping the axle down, I'll be removing the exhaust. And I've already done an aftermarket exhaust, so mine will be disconnected from right here. Otherwise, you may have to disconnect it all the way from up front. I actually cut mine to get mine out from off the axle when I did it, but not this one. This one's already pieced together. And then there's going to be a heat shield, and then there's going to be 2 bolts holding the straps for the gas tank on. So I'm going to go ahead and get started taking off these on this side, and then I'll start taking off the others, getting this axle dropped down, and then I'll get a better view of the exhaust. Okay, so with the bolts out of these, a little bit of force, not even much, they'll drop right out. And the top one. Alright, I'm going to go get the sway bar on the other side, and then remove the shocks and take the springs out. Alright, so now I've got all the springs, the suspension, everything is off. Sway bars. There is one bolt I didn't mention over here. This holds kind of like your brake lines, but it's right there. Go ahead and pop that bolt out. It'll give it enough free play when you go to lower your axle down. And then don't forget to unplug your, don't necessarily have to unplug the axle, but right here, your axle, or I guess your ABS or speed sensor, stuff like that, and the fuel pump are plugged in right here. So at this point, I got the axle down far enough, I can go ahead and drop the exhaust. So I get the email today that from UPS, my new tank has been delivered. And I get home, and this is the box sitting on the porch. Get the whole neck sticking out of the box, which not a big deal. It's not bent or broke. There's a secondary box with the new fuel cap. Now here's the old tank, and this is the one when I found the previous owner decided to cut a portal, whatever you want to call them, and managed to cut into the tank and had this big thick like tar paper covering this, I guess to try to mask the smell, I don't know. Anyway, when I was in the back of the car, I could smell it, so I was like, going to replace it. So here's the new tank, and I'm going to tell you, I verified this with the seller. I even sent him my VIN number just to make sure that this would be the right one for my car. And this is what I get. No freaking bolt holes. I shouldn't say bolt holes, but no freaking bolts. And the way the fuel pump attaches is with the bolts. So A couple people online said I could order some new parts to make it work. I'm not going to go buy a whole new fuel pump, lock ring, everything else. So, $150 wasted. Well, I guess not wasted. The seller did say that he would refund my money and he would actually pay to have it shipped back. So, I went by American Camaro and Firebird. Told him about the problem. And I should have done this all along, but here is what he sent me. Or actually sent me home with. So I've got a good used one. Checked it out, no holes. So hopefully tonight this will be in the car, and tomorrow morning I will be driving it. And it does have the bolts. So this should be the proper one. Let's get this thing out of the trunk and into the car and see if we can get it. As for the project car, I now have the original poked hole tank. A tank that won't work with the fuel pump and the pieces I have. And a good used one. So hopefully it is a good used one. Hopefully everything works well with it. I should see hopefully in 30 minutes to an hour.